I like the background, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. This is kind of my man cave.
You probably got your own
Yeah,
equipment too.
yeah, I do.
Yeah, what kind of mic you use on your vocal?
On my vocal, Audio Technica 4050.
Well,
Yeah, I've had
probably
that for so long.
anything sounds good on you though.
Thanks. You're too kind. Don't. No, just
I'm
kidding.
sure you hear it all the time. What the hell?
No, no, no. Nah, it's funny. I'm kind of like, like in the background most of the time nowadays.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that. How
Yeah.
do you go from singing lead to background other than what the gig requires?
That's always been a challenge for me because I do so many things. Like you said, it basically boils down to what the gig calls for. And like, for instance, when I moved to New York, I thought I was going to be a bass player. And then a guy that I was working with um, said, Man, I listened to one of your demos. You sound great. Who's singing? I was like, That's me. He's like, Oh man, I got to get you a gig singing. So I was like, Singing, really? So so that's like when I met you and your dad and everything, that was around that. That's how I got into singing,
Who
you
was
know.
that? Who was that guy that asked you to sing
Uh,
for there?
oh, that was Doc Powell from Luther Vandross's band.
And
Yeah.
he
So
wanted you to sing lead?
when I moved to New York, he went out of his way to put me on a good path. And um, I was looking to get a bass player gig. I guess looking back now, he was probably thinking, well, you're new in town and I don't really know you as a bass player, but I do know you can sing. Hey, which put me on a path.
How did he know that?
I used to play demos for him because that's how I ended up moving to New York from Michigan because I used to sneak in our civic center where they held concerts and during sound check, and I used to talk to all of the cats. After meeting three people, I felt like the half the world lived in New York.
Kind of.
So
You started with club dates?
as a singer, yeah, I did. During that same time I was doing club dates, I was writing a lot in the studio all the time. Then I got into doing jingles.
That was a good thing to be involved in.
It was.
Unfortunately, that doesn't that never existed for me. It was
Oh,
gone. It was gone by the time I was even old
wow.
enough.
Yeah, I guess that's why I never got a call for any jingles.
I would say so. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
you know what they're doing?
yeah.
They're downloading them on like dollar websites. Oh, you get licensing for this song for $1. Same thing with movies. Did you write some?
I did. I
You
wrote
wrote.
some stuff that ended up in movies. Yeah.
Did that happen because they asked you to write for the movie, or you already had the music and they heard it and they wanted it in their movie?
I was asked to write for one, and then the other one they already had.
So did they show you a clip and you had to write around that vibe? Did they give you any kind of concept?
They gave me a concept, and they said they wanted to be funky, jazzy, sophisticated, and
Which is
so
kind of your
hey,
style,
that's kind of my
regardless.
style.
It's like, let me just
Yeah.
write a song for myself. And hey, it's
Yeah.
going to be in a movie.
So it worked, and then it ended up on the radio as well on CD 101.9.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That is a big
Yeah.
one. When you're writing music, do you go about it like with the melody first, or the words first, or the music first?
I have such a fear of becoming a track god where you just keep making tracks and making tracks, and I'm going to make music. I'm going to write lyrics to that. I'm going to write lyrics to that. So I never record anything until I have the lyric flushed out. So I'll come up with a melody sometimes, or I'll come up with a lyric, and then I'll get an idea what it is topic wise, and I'll try to see if I can't hone it down to something special.
You know, when the music is written around the concept is usually strongest.
Yeah, I think so. I like concept records a lot, and people don't really listen to albums, in my opinion, as much. Not the way we used to, like where you just take that whole journey all the way through. That's how my songwriting is set up. I don't think everything on a record should sound like a single.
You're very fortunate that like your music like got out there and it did stuff, because
Yeah,
not only did you write whole albums, which mean the
yeah,
most to
yeah,
you
yeah,
personally, than
Yeah.
writing a few singles and putting them on Spotify.
I'm just I'm just I love soul music, so I try to take um, bits from Marvin Gaye. Try to take bits um, from Cameo,
Yeah.
from Prince, from Lakeside, from all of those guys. But I'm sounding so dated because everyone I just named hasn't had a record in 30 years.
But you have.
I can always put a different vibe on stuff. I'd like to think at least.
Yeah, because it's what comes from in here. Not
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
trying to sound like somebody else.
That's right. That's right.
At what point did you play with the Average White Band?
Let's see, that would be around 2001 or something, I think it
Yeah.
was. Ironically, I knew those guys through Daryl.
Were you working for Hall Notes first?
I was, yeah, yeah. So the management got in touch with me and said, Daryl likes your music, and he said you can come and use the studio. And I got a chance to like personally know a few of the guys. Um, and then when a spot became available, they said, "Hey, we should get Klyde."
When did you start working on Daryl's House?
That CeeLo Green episode was my very first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
the first
some
time I
episode to debut on.
yeah.
Were you a
So
fan of his?
oh yeah, totally, totally. I thought Niles Barkley thing was great.
That's like my favorite episode. Other than the Joe Walsh one is also one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Was there any guest that when you heard they were coming on or they came on that you were kind of starstruck?
I was excited about the OJs. That was really cool. I guess that would be Starstruck. Yeah. I mean, I lived the OJs. I mean, when I was a kid, I went to the diner and you buy something, you have a coin left over and you put it in that little jukebox at the table and you scroll through. It was always OJs for me. There's a lot going on with that show. By design, you don't want to be over rehearsed or anything like that.
So it doesn't take more than a day, you think?
No, 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 it's quick.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quick. A lot of that stuff is like one or two takes.
Yeah, but also doesn't the guest have to like learn the arrangement of a Hall Notes tune?
Yeah.
So doesn't
Well,
that take time?
everyone does their homework, I guess.
Because some of those Hall Notes arrangements, they're nothing like the record.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
can't go for
absolutely.
that with CeeLo. Like, that's like a 8-minute arrangement of that song.
And it was just us playing. We knew how we were gonna end, and we knew how we were gonna start. That's how a lot of that stuff kind of takes off.
It is a slamming band.
Yeah,
I guess when you
yeah,
have that, like, what more can you ask for?
yeah,
It's hard to find.
yeah. And they're all really cool too.
Like, no drama.
No drama, no, no.
That's like that's
No
like number
drama.
one thing that's so hard about being on the road.
At least I don't think I do.
No, not you. I know it. You're Mr. Smooth. Do you know you have that nickname?
I'd love to get in the studio with you one of these days. I think highly of you. So that would be great, man.
Klyde, you're welcome in this house anytime you want. Use the studio 24 hours every day, all day. I'll help you do whatever you want. I'd be glad to have you.